But first, we are getting ready for your Klotz Open Wheel Modifieds, presented by Cometic Gaskets. And these are the drivers that are getting ready to put on a show for you right now, Brett. Hanging out on the pole position out of Ukiah, California. That 5K is going to be Kyle Tellstrom and Aaron McMorran out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He's got the high side.
In row number 2 is a 24 of Nathan Gasser from Fort Lupton, Colorado. And the 25 of Jaron Giannini from nearby Henderson, Nevada.
Jaron Giannini.
I am so
sorry.
And
I only know that because I had messed it up before. So the 24 has Shelby Strobel out of Kuna, Idaho, and Dylan Capello out of Peoria, Arizona.
The 51 of Cade Fox from Wellington, Colorado, and the 29 of Sam Jacks from right here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Kyle Jacks, he's had the hometown track in the 41, and he's right next to Sacramento, California's Chris Price in the 51X.
Moving through the field, the 2B of Stephen Brooker and the 21 of Ryan Jones.
The 7C out of Santa Rosa, California, Cameron Austin. And you've got Brendan Rysbarski out of Tracy, California in the 25R, one of our double-duty drivers.
Kevin Vossen coming from Redding, California in the 10K, and the 11L from Utah, that would be Jeff Longman.
Bountiful, Utah's Eric Reed pilots the 66 to 2C. Also one of our great Utah drivers, that's Chris Cook.
And in the 98 from Napa, Idaho, Donovan Barr. And the 15X from Windsor, California, that is Sammy Nuno.
Great looking field of modifieds as we work our way at the back. It's William Guevara out of Lake Havasu, California, and Lynn Hardy out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
From Parker, Colorado, it's the 66S of John Seeley, and from West Valley City, Utah, it's the 29W of Zach Webster.
Well, Doug Carpenter calls El Cajon, California home. He pilots the 3C, and at the back of the pack, the 57K. Kylie Keown out of Ukiah, California, as we get ready for some modifieds tonight. All right, let's get ready. Let's see what these modifieds are all about. Let's get this crowd hyped up and ready to go green.
Just one.
$7,500 to win. 75 laps. Again, a big thanks to Klotz and Cometic Gaskets as we get ready. Kyle Tellstrom, the man has won in just about everything, and he's going to try it here tonight through the Servpo restart zone. We are racing at the bull ring for $7,500.
As I mentioned before, they're side by side, but do you dare take it 3 wide, or do you keep it double wide, as this is, again, is a 75-lap event? Long way to go here.
Kyle Tellstrom has won a lot of the big races in the Northwest. This is one that he would love to put on his resume as they come through. McMorran, Giannini, Gasser, Capello, your top 5, but we've got a battle with Shelby Strobel. Strobel in the 24. He's trying to move up behind Gasser.
Kyle Tellstrom has about a 2-car length lead, and he's glad to see that because there is a mess of cars behind him as they battle mid-pack and on back.
And stretching them out, but some good clean racing so far. Oh, and then there's a little beating and banging turn number 4. But they hold on, as that's a pretty good battle mid-pack. Kyle Tellstrom, Giannini, McMorran, still your top 3. And then we're starting to get a little closer there as they dive into turn 3, Brett.
Yeah, a little bit of bumper tag, I think, on that last lap, but everyone was able to keep it together as we have another lap on the board. They're starting to get strung out a little bit, single file. And as they do that, you have to wonder how long will it take before the leaders catch up to lap traffic.
Yeah, slowly starting to stretch out your field there. Tellstrom in the modified. There's 9B of Donovan Barr. He's battling the 25, but the 25 really took that spot away from him there. That was Rysbarski. We just talked about him in the Legends division just a little bit ago.
And of course, Donovan Barr came through and won the B main to make it into the show. What a story would be if he's able to climb up into the top 5 or even the top 10 after going through that B main.
Yeah, he's hanging out there in 16th spot right now. He's going to try to work his way towards the front as your modified race leader. Kyle Tellstrom comes from the outlaw kart ranks, super late models. He does just a little bit of everything, and he's always in it to win it. And him and his crew showed up in Las Vegas, and it looks like they are doing pretty good with 68 to go. We're 7 laps into your 75 lapper.
We just had a little bit of beating and banging down the front straightaway in the rear of the pack between two cars. I believe it was the 21 of Ryan Jones that everything sorted out itself, and everyone's back to single file racing here as they're almost strung out all the way around this bull ring here now with this modified division.
There's the 55. He also came out of that B main, as well as Zach Webster in the 29. So you see some of those cars that transferred along with Lynn Hardy there. They're trying to work their way towards the front of this field, and I think they can do it, but they're really starting to stretch it out right now if this thing stays green.
I think those guys in the back with the 55, they don't want to see that leader, and he's coming up. Kyle Tellstrom in the number 5 is coming up quick, and he's going to lap these guys in about 2 to 3 laps here, I think.
Yeah, Tellstrom is fast. That family car out of California, Ukiah, California. He always puts on a show whenever they get behind the wheel of that thing, and he is doing it right now. But Jaron Giannini is not going away in the 25. McMorran, Gasser, and Strobel, your top 5 modifieds here at the Bull Ring tonight.
We see them single file across the field here. But again, lap traffic may come into play. And I think the number 4 car might be showing a little bit of smoke as the leader is coming up on him. Luckily gets up to the high side. No issues for our leaders there.
Oh, tough break there for Lynn Hardy, though.
He's pointing down to the inside.
So he's got some mechanical issues there, and he is letting them know he's headed to the pit area, giving the flagman the wave. So Lynn Hardy's open wheel showdown dreams come to a smoky stop here with 61 laps to go.
And now we have cars all the way around this bull ring as the leaders are getting their way into this lap traffic. And you have to wonder, how hard do you race a lapped car? Or do you roll over for the leader, or do you want to stay on this lead lap?
Yeah, and we'll see what Zach Webster wants to do here, because he's got Kyle Tellstrom bearing down on the back bumper there, and you can already see that right rear brake rotor is glowing on the 29 of Zach Webster.
We have a slow car on the high side there.
Yep, Chris Cook slow over there in turn number 4. So a tough break for Cook. Another one of our Utah drivers going to try to limp that machine to the pit area.
Yeah, it looks like he will make it to the pit area, and he will. Totally different race than we saw 1 year ago where they had 5 cautions in the first 10 laps. We've been clean and green so far with 57 laps to go now.
Yeah, they are putting on a pretty good show there. It's Giannini and Tellstrom. Now they're starting to weave through the traffic. McMorran is still there. Gasser is there. Strobel just a little bit on the outside looking in, but he's got Capello right there on the back bumper as they cross the start-finish stripe.
You have to wonder, we're getting to that point, could Kyle Tellstrom lead every single lap and take the win here in the modified division? That's a tall order with 55 still to go, but he has the car to do it.
You know, he has done some amazing things behind the wheel the last few years. He's won some big races in the super lates, definitely a modified master. So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing stays green, but Jaron Giannini, he's one of the guys that's used to racing down here, and he's going to try to chase him down.
They're coming up to the 55 car to put a lap down of William Guevara, and he's had a heck of a weekend repairing the car twice. Now back out here with all the quarter panels on that vehicle. I think he's going to try to stay on this lead lap. After all that hard work they've done this weekend, he wants to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, Kyle Tellstrom, though, says not tonight, and we got one around in front of your race leader. Wow. Kyle Tellstrom gets lucky there. Jeff Longman going around.
And it looks like no damage to either of those cars. Surprisingly, I mean, he spun in front of the leaders, and everyone was able to avoid him. Not sure what happened there, though, if there was contact or if that spun around on their own.
Yeah, so tough break there for Jeff Longman. A lucky break there for Kyle Tellstrom, because he was right behind that incident when they started spinning around. So
we'll restack them, but I don't know. See if anyone has anything for Kyle.
Well, they want to be the winner of the show. So
I believe that's the 25 back in the work area. We saw them slow on the track, and it looks like they're tightening something on the engine there.
So, yeah, a little bit of mechanical repair there for the 25 back in the pit area. So that is not a good sign for them. We'll see what they got there. As, working on the lineup up front, though.
We'll see if Giannini has anything on this restart.
sounded like the valve cover was coming off the top of the 25 machine, so they're just tightening that right now. And it had been looking like it was smoking for the last, say, 10 laps or so, but sounds like it was just oil coming off of that race car. So there you see them going to work on the valve cover right there, trying to tighten that, and they'll try to get Rusbarski back out here on the racetrack. Doesn't seem to be an immediate rush.
As your pace truck exits, we're going to send them right at you in the Serve Pro restart zone. Here they come.
As they make their way to turn 3 and 4, our first restart of the evening. We are green back at the bull ring as they go side by side down into turn 1 and 2.
Oh, what a beautiful sight. If you're a modified racing fan, this is the best you're going to see. A full field, and they are putting on a show. Tellstrom out of Ukiah, California. He was being challenged there for a second, but now he starts to spread it out a little bit there. But I don't know. Capello, Giannini, Jax is now in the mix, so that caution mixed up your top 5 a little bit behind Kyle Tellstrom.
I'm keeping my eye in the back of the pack where they're still double wide throughout the field, getting as much as they can on this restart. As you can see, there's a battle for the 4th and 5th position.
Yeah, there's some pretty good battles.
Sam Jax was the one in the 29 car. I think he just lost a position there. He's going to go back to 5th place. Aaron McMorran, our defending winner, is up to the 4th position.
Yeah, Price and Barr putting on a show there. Is now Donovan Barr, middle of the pack. He was your B main event winner. He has now moved himself right up there. We talked about how cool it would be to be in the top 10. He's hanging out in 11th place 12th place right now. So Donovan Barr, maybe the man on the move. Probably not going to make it all the way to the front, but definitely going to be a successful weekend if he can keep moving forward.
Yeah, like I said, the farther you can move forward, the bigger the payday per position. And he's really racing his way through the field. You can see him making another pass there in turn 1 and 2. Looks like the 51 car had a little bit of smoke coming off of it, but no issues so far. As we stay green and our leader is continuing to lead. That is Kyle Tellstrom leading every lap so far.
You've got Capello and Giannini right there on your screen as they're diving into turn number 3 and 4. So that's something to watch as you see the gap starting to grow. Kyle Tellstrom putting a little bit of racetrack between himself and Capello as they work their way around the bull ring. We are down to 46 laps to go. This has been an amazing race so far.
And if we stay green, 46 laps is long enough that lap traffic will come into play once again, but that didn't seem to be a factor for Kyle Tellstrom in that first run before we had that yellow in turn 4.
Yeah, Tellstrom's a veteran. The lap traffic not going to bother him when he gets there, but what he's going to have to look out is for the cars behind him to see if those guys might be setting him up to possibly pick him off somewhere once he gets into the traffic. Still a few laps away from that. Kyle Tellstrom, your race leader.
And it's starting to get strung out single file all the way around the racetrack. So I think we have a long green run look to it. We'll see if that holds true as we now have 43 laps to go.
And as they're single filed out, we'll run you through your top 10 real quick. Tellstrom, Capello, Giannini, McMorran, and Jax. Those are your top 5. Gasser and Strobel have been following each other. They're still in the mix there in 6th and 7th. Brucker, Jax, and Austin round out your top 10, Brett, with 41 to go.
Kyle Tellstrom continues to lead. It's been steady with about a 2 to 3 car length lead. And he has still plenty of clear racetrack. Really, the best battle we have right now, I think, is for that 5th and 6th position with the 24 and the 29 have been working hard on each other. Looks like the 24 of Nathan Gasser might be a little bit quicker than the 29 of Sam Jax, as you can see them come off turn 4. And Gasser goes down to the inside. Looks like he's going to try for a pass here.
Yep, Gasser and Jax side by side. Going to put a tire underneath him there. Shelby Strobel would love to be right there on the rear bumper of the other 24 and try to freight train underneath with him there. He's going to try it. I don't know if he's going to make it work. There you go. But Gasser takes the spot.
And the 2 car on the front stretch here is off the pace. They're going to get down to the inside infield. And, oh, we have a spin now in turn 2 as well. Caution is out. So that is the 51X of Price.
Yep, so
that
he goes
spun.
around.
Chris Price spun in turn 2. He's going to be able to continue on with no damage.
Like this one on the front stretch.
There you see the 11. They're working on the rear there. Don't know if that's just a... Oh, they got the jack up under the car too. So I thought it was just maybe a issue with the receiver, but that's obviously not the case.
All right.
Down and away.
So Longman going to rejoin us.
Just chatted with the crew a second ago. nothing mechanically wrong with the race car. As a matter of fact, they were making an adjustment on the left rear because Jeff complained that he was too loose. They also cleared that left rear fender, so just to make sure that there's no tire rub on that left rear of Longman as he's ready to get back on the racetrack.
All right.
More work being done in the pit area.
So, yeah, busy spot there. That's the one they just towed in. So we'll see
They're
what
taking the cover off there. No, that's never a good sign.
Yeah, got the air cleaner off. Going to see if they're might be trying to get that thing fired up, keep it running. So,
and I'm not sure they're going to get them back out before we go green because the lights just went out on the pace car.
Kyle Tellstrom, he's your race leader. He's been doing a good job. What's going on with Brucker back there, Drake?
Well, you just saw them try to start it up. It sounds like it's an ignition issue on Brucker's car. They tried firing it up once. They're taking a few things apart, but right now they've got a whole bag of tricks that they're trying right now to get the 2B back up and running. But it's definitely in the motor compartment of Brucker's car.
That's unfortunate as we get the Serve Pro restart zone and the green flag is out, and Kyle Tellstrom back to the lead, still continuing to lead these laps as we're coming around with just 38 to go, and I'm looking back in the pack, and they're still double wide, beating and banging, using those bumpers as the laps are running out for the guys in the back.
Now, those yellow flags where we go side by side, you know, you say can change it up a little bit. Shelby Strobel, he was battling back there in 7th or 8th. He's got himself in the top 5 courtesy of that choose cone.
Oh, we have a spin in turn 4, lights him up, and everyone's able to avoid him. I can't see the number until the smoke clears. That's the 66 of John Seeley, who was running 12th at the time. Show for everyone there in turn 4. I didn't see, did he go to the pit area? I'm not sure. He did go to
the 25 just went back into the pit area. We got the 3 in the pit area too as well. I think that's Carpenter. So, yeah, that little work area in the pit's been pretty busy.
Not sure if they're just going to make an adjustment like we saw before on the other vehicles. But they don't got a lot of time, though, because it was just a spin, so there's not really many caution laps that they're going to run.
There's the 51. Yeah, the 51 in there. They're checking it out. Price's machine. There's a lot of damage to the left rear of Price. That's a lot. Yeah, what do you got going on down there, Drake? It's busy.
It looked like they just did a once-over on Price's car. You get a good look at the left rear. It is absolutely destroyed. But obviously, as you can see, the fenders are clear. The car's good. The team did a once-over, and they're sending them back out on the racetrack.
Working Carpenter's down there, Drake. What's going on with that machine?
They've got the car up on jack stands. It seems like right now the main issue of concern is a flat right front tire. You could also partially see on our Speed Sports shot that the wheel is a little bit damaged as well, so they're going to get the tire off and try to get a new right front on here in just a moment. The 25, you can see, also just came back out of the racetrack a few moments ago. He's been through the work area a few times. There you see, there's the new right front tire. They're going to try to get Carpenter back out on the racetrack, but as you guys said, time is running out.
Yeah, the lights are out, and we have 1 lap away from green.
So we'll see if Carpenter can make it happen as the pace truck exits, and your entire field of open wheel modifieds heads to the Serve Pro restart zone as we go green one more time.
Solid restart there by the 5K of Kyle Tellstrom. Again, still leading this race, has led every lap so far as one car gets high off of turn 4 off the pace. That's the 29.
Yeah, Zach Webster, some problems there.
We had we had contact in turn 4, and the caution,
there's
the
the hit.
55 was trying to avoid the jam up that had happened because of the issue we had in turn 4 and lost control and unfortunately hit the front stretch wall. That is the 3rd accident, I believe, in the last 24 hours that this car has been involved in.
With your Klotz Open Wheel Modifieds, presented by Cometic Gaskets. 37 to go as we go side-by-side modified racing one more time. They're going to get the one at the line this time by.
For those fans of Aaron and hoping he goes back-to-back, he has 37 laps to go from 11th to 1st.
See if he can do it. He's got a heavy-hitting veteran in Kyle Tellstrom, who has been the class of the field so far. But anything can happen at the bull ring. Serve Pro restart zone, Brett. We are racing one more time.
Kyle Tellstrom with another solid restart. No one's been able to compete with him on those restarts this evening so far. A little bit of contact back and further in the pack, but we stay green. Everyone gathers it back up. The battle is for second.
Yeah, I thought Jax. Oh, now we're going to spin him out over there in turn number 4. The 51 and 21 are going to be the victims over there of another Nasty Beast RD caution flag. So
we're getting to that point in the race where they know the laps are running out.
looks like the 25 might have helped. Yep, 25 gets into the 51.
Some bumper tag.
And then a couple car lengths back when
The
everybody
accordion
checked
effect,
up.
yes, the accordion effect in full display there.
Wrong place, wrong time. Now they both go to the back for 36 laps. Drake hanging out in the pits. How's the work zone?
Hectic as ever, William Guerrero back in. They're trying to take off the front skirt plate. You could hear it kind of scraping as he went by through 1 and 2. They're more or less going to flip it up, and I don't know how much of that you heard as he was rolling by, but it was a very non-pleasant metallic grinding sound as he made his way back out to the racetrack.
Yeah, that was a little loud there, Drake. So
yeah, that and I
bring
think
your field.
we're gonna do a single file restart now. We'll see if that cleans up any of the issues that we've seen. But I think most of the issues have been they're just been bumper to bumper, and you know, some guys have different let off points than others, and it kind of just creates an accordion effect.
Yep. So coming for green through the Serve Pro restart zone. 36 to go. Who can beat Kyle Tellstrom? Let's see if anybody can.
Another restart where he's able to get away cleanly, but I thought maybe he was going to use the bumper there in turn 1 and 2. Clean racing, though, so far. It's the 55 is taking it off the racetrack.
Yep, so the 55 heads out. Capello is right there on the rear bumper of Kyle Tellstrom, but it takes about a lap and a half or 2 laps, Brett, and then Kyle starts to stretch it out.
Fires off maybe a little slow, and then he's able to make it up the longer they run.
Outside the top 5, Eric Reed in the 66. He's got his hands full with the 7 machine. So that's a pretty good battle with Austin and Reed as those two drivers try to work their way towards the top 5. Single file modified racing from there on back.
We were talking about Donovan Barr. He's in the top 10 now in 9th position. Great story driving all the way from the B main. And he could now maybe even make a top 5 out of this. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, Donovan is a back-to-back Speed Tour modified champion here in the Northwest, and getting the opportunity to come down here this weekend to run the Open Wheel Showdown. Obviously, they didn't want to have to try to make it through the B. It's just the way the night went. But anything in the top 10, I think, would be a success for that young man.
We see, we have caution on the speedway. We have a car around on the back straightaway. That is the 25. I think he got some help coming off of turn 2. There you see him right there, the 25 of Brendan Rosbarski. And
yes,
this is his second race of the evening, I believe, correct?
Yes. In the Legends?
Yep. Yes, he was in the Legends.
They're all yours, Brett. Here comes Kyle Tellstrom.
He's been the master of restarts as he comes into the Serve Pro restart zone. Back green, he's got battle for the lead, contact into turn 1. They're still leading on each other, but he's able to go get the lead. I don't know how that came out that way. But that was probably the biggest battle he's had so far on one of those restarts. Dylan Capello really didn't let him go and showed him he wants that lead, but Kyle is still leading this. That was quite the battle there.
That is 2 very good race car drivers giving it every last ounce of what they've got as they dive into turn number 1. Yeah, Kyle Tellstrom, like I said, I've watched this young man race for many years, and he's not just going to let you push him out of the way.
And now he has about a 2-car length lead, but if we do get another restart later on, Dylan Capello showed his card. He knows now Kyle Tellstrom knows what Dylan's willing to do to get this win, and he may be expecting it. So watch out for that if we have another caution late in this race.
Here comes Giannini. He's going to roll right up on the rear bumper of Jax. So 3rd, 4th place there. That's a battle with 28 laps to go. Getting down to the nitty-gritty for your Klotz Open Wheel Modifieds, presented by Cometic.
Sorry. We had contact in the back of the pack between the 11 and the 15, and I don't know if that contact is over with as they make their way down into turn 1 and 2.
Oh, the 7 on the inside of Eric Reed there. Turn 3 and 4. That's a battle for position as they come down the front straightaway. Gasser in the 24 right there as well.
As we see the cars nose, we see another battle there. The 24 and the 66 still leaning on each other. Looks like the 66 got the better of it that time. 24 stuck his nose out slightly here.
Test 1, 2.
So bringing him down. Here comes Tellstrom out of turn number 4. Capello says, you know what? I'll take this little 2-car length cushion here because number 1, you know I can catch you if we're in traffic or on a restart. So as long as Capello doesn't let him get far away, Brett, he still might have an outside chance at this race.
Yeah, Capello, it hasn't let him get away, as you said. He's kind of just following him, maybe saving his stuff for these last 25 laps.
Down the backstretch, you got a battle for the podium spot as Giannini is still just rolling up on the back bumper of the 29 Jax. They're coming out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Jax has that front straightaway horsepower, though. He pulls away.
You can see the battle for the lead. He's still just a car length out in front. Kyle Tellstrom with Dylan Capello behind. Looks like Capello can get a better run through the center of the corner. We'll see if he's able to do it. See, through the center of turn 1 and 2, he gets a good run, but then he loses a little bit off the corners.
Kind of makes you wonder if Tellstrom's car might be going away from him here in this
He's
race.
Right there.
That's the
Again,
closest he's been.
He's used the bumper before. I think that Capello is definitely faster, especially through the center of the corner. It's just, can you pass him?
And Kyle's going to make sure you can, but he's not going to give you much extra.
And they're also now running up on a slower car, so that we'll see if that comes into play as you take a look at the track from our drone. And you can see they're still battling for the lead.
Man, we were talking about, Tellstrom's going to run away with this. It looks like that's not going to happen because we've got 18 laps to go. And Capello is right there on the rear bumper. Let's see how they maneuver through lap traffic, because after they clear the 21, Brett, they've got a whole line of traffic probably about 4 laps ahead of them.
And you have to wonder how much patience Capello's going to have here. Is he going to use the bumper again? As you can see, that lap car nicely gets out of the way. But Capello's been racing behind for, let's see, most of this race as Kyle Tellstrom's been leading. So how much patience is he going to use, or is he finally going to use a bumper and try and get by him?
15 to go this time by. Dylan Capello out of Peoria, Arizona. Kyle Tellstrom out of Ukiah, California. Battle for your modified lead.
It looks like the 5K of Kyle Tellstrom has more. Oh, the caution came out because I believe the lapped car spun in the infield.
Yep.
Or parked down there. I can't figure out which one it was. But we saw what happened on that last restart. So we know what the 11 of Dylan Capello is willing to do.
Yeah, Dylan Capello is probably like, all right, we're going to do this one more time, but I'm going to do it a little bit more.
He needs the restart of his life with 16 to go.
For green, keep your eye on Dylan Capello. Kyle Tellstrom, we're coming for the restart, Brett.
We're coming to the restart zone as we are back green, our Serve Pro restart zone, and the bumper is being laid to the back of the car. They are nose to tail, all 3 drivers now involved in this battle for the lead.
Jaron Giannini, he is a part of it as well. Look at Capello, and he is going to lay it.
He's beating the bumper off the back of the car.
I tell you what, any other driver would be spun by now. Kyle Tellstrom is a wheel man, and it's going to take a lot more than that to get the 5K out of your way.
And, we have a spin. Oh, no, it's Donovan Barr. We were just talking about him, the announcer's jinx.
So tough break there for Donovan Barr.
We just talked about the 10 positions that he gained coming all the way from the B. And now
he was right there with Eric Reed, Shelby Strobel, that group of cars that just went around him. And I think he's going to go, must be Strobel.
Is he searching for someone?
Yeah, he just gave Strobel a little love tap. And now Strobel's going to stop and he's going to ask him what's going on back there. So
extracurricular activities here, part of the Open Wheel Showdown. I'm sure race control is telling them,
yeah, let's go,
hey,
boys.
Let's deal with that after the race.
I mean, I'm sure they were just chatting about where they were going to go to dinner after the sprint car show, right?
No,
And like I said, Kyle's good, but you can only take so much sometimes. Let's see what Dylan's got for him this time through the Surf Pro restart zone. Down into turn number 1. That's where it gets going.
not as good as a restart, but he makes up the time in the corner there.
And Jaron Giannini, Jax. We got cars all right there. Both of the Jax machines are in the hunt.
They're nose to tail coming off turn 4, but Kyle Tellstrom, I think, has better speed on the straightaways, and Dylan Capello has better speed in the corners.
Yep. And there you see it. You see that little pull. Tellstrom kind of pulling him down the back straightaway. Capello right there. But now, you know, Dylan, he was working on Tellstrom. Dylan needs to take a look behind him because Jaron Giannini is right there.
And you have to wonder if the tires cooled down enough on Kyle Tellstrom if he was having issues that now his car's handling better, because that was a long green run that we had with Dylan Capello behind him.
12 to go that time by. And yeah, I don't know. Dylan had it those last couple of restarts. He was still right on him. He's going to maybe need a little help from Jaron Giannini. Maybe those two guys can team up and try to close the gap on the 5K. But the next time they cross the line, Brett, it's going to be a 10-lap shootout for your open wheel modifieds.
And Kyle's starting to stretch it out by at least a car length, as you see, as they go into turn 3 and 4. So I don't think that Dylan Capello's close enough that he can even use the bumper at this point.
No. Yeah, he's going to have to find a little bit more out of that 11 car if he wants to make a late race run if this thing stays under green. If there's another caution, he's going to have to be a little more aggressive on that restart. Oh, we got Jack sideways above the number 7. We stay green.
We stay green, and Kyle Tellstrom has still led every lap of this race, as he now has a pretty comfortable car length lead as we come to 8 laps to go. I think at this point he does not want to see another yellow flag come out.
He does not, and deep in the field we still got some drivers slicing and dicing their way through your open wheel modified field as they go down the back stretch. 7 on the board this time by for Kyle Tellstrom out of Ukiah, California. Capello, Giannini, Austin, and Gasser, your top 5, Brett.
$7,500 waiting for the winner of this race, along with that very unique BitNile.com Open Wheel Showdown trophy is waiting for whoever wins this race 6 laps from now. And it looks like Kyle Tellstrom is going to be hard to beat with 6 to go.
Man, Dylan gave him everything he could give him to try to challenge him for the Open Wheel Showdown main event win here for your modifieds, but now it's 5 circuits around the bull ring for Kyle Tellstrom.
And I'll say Dylan Capello used the bumper, but it was in a way where it was respectable. It wasn't he just hooked him into the wall. So some respectable racing out of these top 2.
Yeah, and that's what you love to see with the modifieds, because there's a little give and take. You can bump and rub a little bit with these, but they're still a semi-open wheel car as well, so you just got to be careful. That's experience, and that is definitely a great show up front with 3 to go.
3 to go, and I'm looking around the racetrack, and everyone except for the 22 and the 66, everyone is pretty much single file. You can see they get that sorted out, the 22 and 66. So 2 laps to go, everyone's single file. I assume we'll stay green here, and that's what the number 5 of Kyle Tellstrom wants to see.
Yep, the next thing Kyle is going to see is that white flag. That means one more trip around the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Bull Ring. It's the Klotz Open Wheel Modified main event of the weekend for this group, presented by Cometic Gaskets. White flag, Brett, they're coming for the win.
He wants to get around the racetrack, everyone get around cleanly. He wants it to stay green. He's led every single lap of this race as he comes out of turn 4, and Kyle Tellstrom's going to get the win, as there was a slow lapped car that almost took that win away.
Man, that was pretty close. I tell you what, because Carpenter had went up to the wall and then started to come down across the track. But Kyle Tellstrom, Dylan Capello, and there you go. The sportsmanship is Dylan goes right up beside him, and big congratulations as Tellstrom will roll it in. A big win, and everywhere he goes, he'll do the reverse victory lap here. Kyle Tellstrom, a winner in Las Vegas. As Tellstrom
I think he wants the flag.
Yeah, he wants to do a little victory lap there, modified style in the 5K.
They're going to give it to him. This win means a lot to him, and you said it.
Yeah.
Means a lot to him, and you've seen him race multiple times.
Yeah, he does a good job. He does call Meridian Speedway his home track. He lives up there, so he's going to roll over by those Meridian Speedway fans. I'm sure they're going to give him a big old round of applause here at the Bull Ring. Your main event winner for your Klotz Open Wheel Modifieds, presented by Cometic Gaskets. He's going to roll the 5K in the victory lane, Kyle Tellstrom.
Again, rolls into victory lane with a checkered flag, as well as $7,500 and that unique trophy. And he gets to do a winner interview with Drake York.
It's his lucky day. And look at where he's at in Las Vegas, Nevada. So
he's enjoying every moment of this.
Yeah. You know, and these teams and these drivers, no matter what class it is, they all put their heart and soul into this thing. So very cool to see Kyle Tellstrom parking it on the checkers here at the Bull Ring. Yeah, so he's going to slide out of that thing after 75 hard.
Look at that fire suit.
Earned laps. Up and out. Make some noise for Kyle Tellstrom tonight.
I was afraid he might fall there. We don't want to see that.
Yeah, he's got the old school Jeff Gordon throwback suit.
Reminds me of when I was a kid.
He's won a couple of races with that. So, like I said, all of these guys are the good guys. And right now, Drake has your modified winner.
This guy has won in just about everything, and you guys talked about the suit, celebrating 24 years of racing. Also got to tie it in 24 race for Chase. I know that one's going to mean a lot to you as well. That race did not come easy. You led every lap. On paper, it looked easy, but Dylan Capella was beating your back bumper off for a majority of that race. How were you able to keep the car under you for 75 laps with him banging on your back bumper for that long?
Yeah, you know, this is the nature of the Bull Ring. You know, we've had a lot of good battles here. Dylan and I have raced here a lot, and he's really good here. So just knew what I needed. You have to protect on the restarts, keep yourself where you need to be, and then try to run away. And we had a couple good runs where I was like, man, this thing's good, and a couple we fired off, and it was really free. So just had to play defense at the right times, and then once I got a little room, had to try to roll through 3 and 4 and just get going. So cautions worked out for us. Dylan and his crew, they were awesome tonight. Dylan hasn't ran a modified, however, and he was badass tonight. So just, yeah, a little bit of luck, a little bit of everything, and just went our way tonight.
You've won a lot of cool things in your career. I think we could spend the next hour or so talking about all the things that you've won in your career. This is your first time here at the Open Wheel Showdown. Where does this win rank on your all-time list?
It's up there. You know, I've had some good ones. My first ever LOS win was really, really cool, but this is, honestly, I was here in 21, we won. I think that's 220 laps led straight with a 5K when we've been here. So, yeah, it's just really awesome. Proud to be here, proud to be a winner of the Open Wheel Showdown. You know, their trophy, all the effort they put out, the sprint car deal. You know, a lot of the East Coast guys are watching, and West Coast racing's pretty hot and heavy right now.
How about a race fans for Kyle Tellstrom? He's your feature event winner in the Klotz Modifieds, presented by Cometic Gasket. Dylan Capella with a strong second place run in car number 11. Of course, an ARCA Menard Series West winner here back here in 2023. So you know how to get it done here. It just wasn't in the cards tonight. Talk about that race with Kyle Tellstrom, because as I said, you were on his back bumper lap after lap after lap. You just couldn't knock him up out of the way. What was missing to eventually do that to Kyle to sneak past?
Yeah, I feel like he just had a little bit more drive than I did. I could get in, roll to the center a lot better than him, but he could just make it all up and a little bit more down the straightaway. So really good car, though. We kind of got a gift and got the outside front row on one of those chooses, and I felt like we were good enough to be up there. So we cleared ourselves down and just started racing from there. But Kyle's a fierce competitor. Been racing him for a long time, so it was fun to bang doors with him a little bit there. Didn't mean to really dive bomb him, but I felt like he spun the tires, and I had to go for it. I knew how good he was, so just testament to this crew. They did a really good job getting this thing ready, and Dean Kuhn couldn't be here for the race, but thank you for all your work and preparation, and just really wanted to get in victory lane for Larry Triguero and the Triguero family. He did a lot for my racing career, and just wanted to get in victory lane for him, but we came up one spot short, but I know he'd be proud that I gave it all I had, so thank you.
Dylan Capella definitely gave it all he had tonight in car number 11. He's your runner-up. And Jaron Giannini, third on your podium tonight. And Jaron, that race was fun to watch from your perspective too, because you could hang with the front two, but it was to a point where it was a 3-car breakaway, but you just couldn't find yourself in the top two. What was missing on your end to at least maybe have a shot at the top two and maybe even have a chance of standing in victory lane tonight?
I think we just fired off a little too quick, and car went away, but then the yellow came out and started to get it back together. But these are two world-class guys, so it's pretty good to finish third, but would like to finish first.
Jaron Giannini once again rounds out your podium in third in a thrilling race for our Klotz Modifieds presented by Cometic Gasket.